What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do? And NUU sent me the new... I didn't want that to happen, but it did. NUU sent me the new G3, and they sent me a different color. Now, it is very important that I explain. We let my daughter use the other one they sent me, the blue one, and she used it for a while until someone bumped into her, she dropped it, and the screen cracked. So now, I know it's not the worst crack ever, but it kind of sits on a shelf and it gets used as a backup device. So that's just all it is at the moment. But before then, there was no complaints. I used the phone, my wife used the phone, my daughter used the phone. All three of us have used this phone. And for the price, you really can't beat it. You honestly just cannot beat it. It's a great little tool for doing a lot of different things. 5.7-inch HD 720p screen. At least the other one was 720p. It's got an octa-core, so 8 freaking... I only have enough fingers on one hand to count the processors in this sucker. It's got dual SIM, so you can have one for work and one for personal. You can use your personal one for all your data. You can use like a data SIM for data and another SIM for unlimited talking, and like have one SIM for unlimited data and one SIM for unlimited talking. It's pretty cool how that works. It literally asks you which SIM you want to use for which thing, or you can then tell it to like use one specifically for one task, or you can have it ask you. So if you go to make a phone call, it says, "Hey, which SIM card do you want to use?" I have tested this and it works great. I love it. It's got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty dope. It's got 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. Really, you can't argue with that. And it supports fast charge Type-C. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. The reason they made a new one, which I haven't checked for an update for this, but they were like, oh, we updated it to Android, to a newer version of Android. And I don't know if it's the latest or the one before. We'll find out. But regardless, I mean, they could have just updated the other one. Maybe they're going to. Maybe they already have. I don't know. But it's another phone that I can use as a backup. So that's pretty dope. So do I recommend this phone? Yes, definitely. For the price, you're not going to find something for $200 that is, okay, I hate to say that because I've heard good things about another phone that's around the same price. The Papa phone or Poco. I don't know. There's another phone, but I mean, this is a really good deal for what you get, and it's something I would use daily if I didn't have my Pixel 3. I would use this over my Note 5 because the Note 5 is so old, and this has more storage and more RAM, and it's not bloated with things you don't want. So you've got your SIM 1, SIM 2. You can either do a micro SD card and a SIM, or 2 SIMs and no SD card. So it's in there, and it literally, that's the diagram. It's exactly how it's going to appear. When you put in the SIM 2, put in SIM 1, or put SIM 1 down here and your SD card up there, and then pop it in. You got your power button, volume up and down, all on one side. No headphone jack, so it comes with an accessory for a headphone jack. And then there's some more specs. It has 4G LTE, which it works with T-Mobile 4G LTE. That's all I've tested it on. And then you've got a 5.7-inch 720p screen, octa-core, 2.39, a 13 megapixel and a 5 megapixel rear. So 2 cameras in the back, and then you got a 13 megapixel in the front. And then you got the fingerprint scanner on the back here, which is a good place for it. It feels a little weird, like on my Pixel, it feels more natural, but on this one, it does feel a little weird, but you get used to it. Taking a look at the rest of the stuff while we turn it on, if it has a charge at all. You got your booklet for instructions. You've got a cheap little case. Well, hey, I don't mean that in a negative way. It's better than nothing. It'll keep you from, getting the back of it all damaged or the side scratched or, it's a light, very light protection, but it's better than nothing, and it makes it a little more grippy in the hand so it doesn't slide around as easy. So that's a nice little touch. Then you've got your Type-C to 3.5 if you want to use some earphones with this guy that aren't Bluetooth. And then you've got a charger. Now, one thing they did was to keep the price down, they cheaped out on the charger. So they're giving you a 5-volt, 2-amp charger. So if you want to fast charge this thing, you're going to have to provide your own fast charger. And then they included a USB-A to Type-C. So you can go ahead and charge it up. All right, this is the charger that went to my one of my pixels or something. So let's go. Let's skip a SIM card for now. Let's start as new. See Wi-Fi. Connect to Google Fiber. Just going to go ahead and set up our fingerprint real quick just to get in and out of the phone really easily while keeping it secure. Pretty good so far. Just 2 times that it didn't quite detect it properly. Let's try our other finger. And that's going pretty smoothly as well. Pretty good little sensor. The case does make it a little bit harder to get onto the sensor, but it's all right. So let's take a look at what it comes with without applying any updates out of the box. It comes with Android 8.0 out of the box. So it's not Android 9, but Android 9 is still very new and it could be available. Just it says it's currently up to date. But Android 8.0 is the second latest version. I believe only a select few devices have 9. I use Google phones, so I always have the latest version. I kind of get spoiled, but that's what you get for being a Pixel or Nexus user. You get spoiled. You get the latest updates when no one else does. And then you got to go buy a new phone to get the update with most other companies. They're like, hey, you want this new version of Android? Go buy our new phone. So it does support Face Unlock. All right, so using the Pixel charger, not so fast. So that about sums up the new G3 unboxing. This is the newer version. This is the older version. And we also have a little bit different placement of the new logo, as this one is here on the bottom. So I like the color. The color is pretty slick. It's like a very bright red. It's a very nice red. I like it. So I'll have a link to pick up one of these in the description below. If you're in the market for a budget phone for your kid, for yourself, for maybe someone that doesn't want to deal with all the extra things that come with like Samsung and LG and Motorola and all these people that change everything about the phone, it feels mostly like stock Android. It's not a whole lot of stuff that you don't want, and it's got an FM radio on it too. That about wraps this video up. I'll have a link to this in the description below, like I said earlier. If you're not following me on social media, please do so now. I'll have links to everything, and I'll have links to my social media accounts in the description below as well. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.